This private jet company cannot be found on Google or AI, and I'm about to show you exactly why that's costing them millions. Meet Charter Jet One. I have no affiliation to this business. They're stuck on page 5 of Google's search results for this keyword. Meanwhile, their competitors are getting all the clients. Here's what's wild. The keyword private jet charter Los Angeles gets roughly 260 monthly searches in the US alone, globally roughly 1,500 a month. Sure, most aren't buyers, but when one charter is worth up to $30,000 or more, being invisible is expensive. So I dug deeper. CharterJet One has a domain authority of 19 on page 5. Their competitors on page 1, obviously position 1 has a 44, but position 2, 3, and 6, they're all well within range, 10, 18, and a 9. So authority shouldn't be an issue here. And also the keyword difficulty shouldn't really be an issue. Let's take a look at their page and the detailed Chrome extension. So they have the keywords here in the title. They have a variant in the description, a variant in the URL. The H1, it's very basic, but there is a variant of the keyword in there, and it's above the fold. Nothing looks crazy out the ordinary on the surface. But here's where it gets interesting. I found 3 specific problems that likely explain everything. First problem, they literally don't exist on the Google Maps pack for this local keyword. Now, they might not have an FBO there, it might just be an office, but I searched for their address that is on their page on their site, and it shows up, but there's literally nothing there pointing it towards Charter Jet One. I searched Charter Jet One Los Angeles and a profile did come up, but it's for New York. The address is in New York. There's no focus on Los Angeles at all on the local level. Now, if we look at the local pack for this keyword, we have the 3 businesses here in the local pack, and this actually appears before the normal search results. We have the paid listing here. We have on the review side 4 reviews, 18 reviews, 10 reviews. We go for the keyword there, aircraft rental service, aircraft rental service, aircraft rental service. They've all got an address, a phone number. Only one is 24 hours, and they order the closing time. Sorry there, and they have a website. The addresses. This one here on the top is actually not really anywhere near the airport. The only one that's close is this one here, and it looks like it's kind of basically there. But these aren't a lot of reviews at all. This is not a lot of work for a business to compete with. I've worked with some businesses where they're literally up against companies in the local pack that have thousands or tens of thousands of reviews, and they're literally there with a new profile at 0. So this is easy in comparison. But what's key is CharterJet One has 0 presence locally here. Even though they have that address on their site, there's literally nothing I can see that would help Google or AI pin their business to this local area. Second problem is on their page's content. They're literally answering questions nobody's asking, and to be honest, not really answering any questions at all. The information's just too broad. The photos look quite stocky. It feels more of an informational blog post as opposed to a page that converts visitors into potential charter clients. There's not really any intent. They have the call to action button here, but it doesn't feel like there's an intent here. I ran their content through Rankability, and they're in the optimal word counts. The readabilities are fine, but they've got such a low score. They're missing so many keywords and so many key topics that they really need to talk about on this page. Do they operate heavy jets? What's the average flight time to different locations? Do they have concierge services? Do they have a Citation X, a Gulfstream G450? Any last minute flight options? Do they operate from LA International Airport, Van Nuys Airport? Do they fly to Las Vegas, San Francisco? There's so much more information here that they are missing. They write about luxury and convenience, but It's just generic fluff that, to be honest, doesn't really mean anything. Meanwhile, let's look at their successful competitors. So this is position one, and this is Paramount Business Jets. And instantly you can see the difference. It looks like an image of LA. You know, it might still be stock, but at least it suits the area. The What's funny is the H1 is still very basic, but the H2 is actually a lot better. Uh, Private jet to Los Angeles, California, airports, routes, and prices. You can go straight in to booking, you know, trip type, from, to, departure date, and you can get it to show estimates, which is key. If we look at the detail here, you know, we specialize in private jet charters to and from Los Angeles. We recommend Van Nuys Airport, Los Angeles International Airport. You know, these links do take you off this page, which I don't recommend. But when we go onto this page, there's a lot more detail that the customer wants to see. And also, straight away, you can book on this page as well. They have the aircraft size, the cabin size, seats, average prices, performance specs, you know, range. There's just a lot more information. I would love more images of definitely the interior, what the different configurations look like for the seating, definitely a virtual tour. Do they have a YouTube video of the inside? Back to the LA page. You know, what does the FBO look like? Where do I park? How does it work? How long does it take to get through security? There's so much detail you can add, and they are position one already. But if you want to improve that conversion rates, then this is the kind of stuff you want on there. But this is the kind of stuff you want on there. You want to make it so easy for the client or potential client to be like, this is the one I'm going for. When I started going through the booking system, they already have a pretty good mapping tool. And what's great is it literally loads up all the different airports on here for you to select. So you can select the departure, date, the time, the passengers, and as I said before, the show estimates. And that's the key thing here, because it's real information on this page and here that people actually search for and want to know. And also information that Google and AI crawlers just love. But the key thing here on this page is that it's all real information that people actually search for and want to know. All this information is things people are literally asking and thinking, you know, where can I fly to and from? Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, how long is that flight time? How many people can I take? You can see the comparison between why this one is page one and why the other is page 5. In contrast, let's go back to CharterJet 1. They have a contact form here. It's fairly detailed, but it's kind of a fill out, wait for a response contact form. And don't get me wrong, the response could be really quick, but people want to know information now. People want to know all that detail that Paramount Business Jets had on their page now. They want to see that detail before they book a flight. CharterJet One does also have all these links taking you to, you know, different planes that they offer, but again, it lacks detail. There's no where you can fly to. There's no specs. There's just not really any actual information. And here's the crazy part: these aren't advanced SEO problems. This is foundation level stuff. But in the private jet industry, 87% of companies are missing these basic private jet SEO things. They think wealthy clients don't use Google and don't use AI, but they do. And every month, CharterJet One stays on page 5. Their competitors get stronger, they get more reviews, the monthly search volume increases as demand rises, and Google rewards consistency and longevity. Those competitors with 18 reviews, they will get more, but they also started somewhere. They started with 0 reviews at some point. The ones with detailed content, like Paramount Business Jets, they built it over time. Starting late means working twice as hard to catch up, but here's what most people don't realize. Moving from page 5 to page 1 could mean going from 0 visibility to 2 to 3 serious inquiries monthly. And in private aviation, that is massive. One new charter pays for months, potentially years of SEO work. The question is, how long will you stay invisible while your competitors, with sometimes a worse service, get all the clients?